Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Pop and Culture Podcast, episode 219. I'm Adrian.
I'm Jay.
We're back for another week of comic book, TV, movies, a little bit of music, and some whiskey.
Yeah.
What are we drinking here, bud? This was your birth child.
Yeah. So we realized there's an episode that you guys are never gonna see with a delicious whiskey on it.
Yes.
So we were talking about how we were surprised that Jim Beam, which is the maker of the whiskey you won't see, actually has a decent array of options when it comes to whiskey.
They do.
So we decided, since there's 4 Wednesdays in this month,
But out.
and as far as we know, both of us will be here for all 4 Wednesdays, or at least sometime during that week. But we'll do at least 4 episodes this month, is what I'm getting at. That we are going to do a Jim Beam sampler month.
Correct.
Because I don't think, other than that episode we didn't get, I don't think we've ever done Jim. Did we do the rye?
We did the rye.
Oh, that means we're going to do a repeat.
That's fine. We can do a repeat. It's been a while.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Because I think that will be our first repeat in like 2.5 years.
Really?
Maybe. I'd have to go back and check. But I think maybe.
I just realized I should turn that off.
Bah.
It's not affecting the mics. I don't see
No.
it pitching. If you guys
We're
hear
good.
weird noise, you hear weird noise. It's because it's like 85 degrees here.
I'm pretty sure we had it on last
There you
summer when
go.
we recorded here,
There
and
you
it was
go.
fine. So
So
we're doing Jim Beam. That's what I was getting at here.
Yes.
We're doing Jim Beam. We're starting out with the regular, original, traditional, whatever the hell you want to call it, Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which is apparently the world's #1 bourbon whiskey.
I would believe that most bars have Jim Beam as their well.
Yes, and I was gonna say, the qualification on that is the most widely available bourbon whiskey, not the #1 preferred bourbon whiskey.
No.
I
I don't think I've ever been anywhere, fine dining or like shithole bar, that doesn't have Jim Beam.
No, it's everywhere. So, and if you recycle this bottle in Iowa, you get 5 cents.
Michigan, you should get 10, right?
Michigan's not even listed. They
Oh.
got Maine and Vermont at 15 cents.
Maybe it's just
Iowa at
aluminum.
5. Maybe. I don't know. So, anyways, we've talked about bourbon before. We're not going to go into it. This is a very middle of the road, not great, not terrible whiskey.
Correct.
So-
If you're going to mix it with Coke, if you're going to mix it with
yeah.
ginger ale, go Jim Beam. Now, obviously, I have one on ice because that's my preferred method. And one neat, so I can give it a sample.
And I've got a double neat. So
I don't think I've ever had Jim Beam neat before.
there might be a reason for that.
It's very minimal in flavor, but has the whiskey burn at the end.
Oh, absolutely, very much so. So yeah, if you're ever at a bar and you don't know, you don't want to say "Give me your well whiskey" because that sounds kind of like douchey. Except I do it all the time. And you want to throw a name out there, say "Give me a Jim Beam and ginger," or "Jim Beam and Coke," or a Beam and Coke.
Right.
Typically, you don't even have to say the Jim or whatever. People know what it is.
And you will get probably charged the well price because that's more likely than not their well.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've ever been to a place where they have Beam on the shelf. Like, have I been in a shitty enough bar where Jim Beam is not in the well?
I can't ever think of a time I've seen it on the shelf, but now I'm gonna have to look every time.
I'm trying to picture sound view. Maybe. I'll look.
There's
next
only
time
one
I'm
way to
there.
find out.
That's right.
We
After
go
the
get a
show,
burger
we're
and
going-
find
yeah,
out.
all
Oh,
right.
that's something else I want to talk about. Burgers.
Oh, okay, fantastic. All right. Oh, I can tell you this story.
Let me hear it.
So I was on a business trip this last week. I went to a couple different bars there, and I was in Brazil, first time in Brazil. I would order like a double Jameson or something like that.
No Caprianas?
Well, I had one of those.
Okay.
As a white person going there ordering that, I feel like I'm just an asshole tourist.
Fair.
And to be fair, the only place I had one was in the hotel bar. So
Which they're used to hotel tourists.
Exactly.
Okay.
So their jigger is way different than what we have here. So I'm used to like the funnel shape,
Sure.
the conical. You fill it up. Theirs, it's flat bottom, kind of like a measuring cup almost. So if you were doing like a quarter cup measuring cup,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's bars on each side, so it just sits on top of your glass, and they pour it in like that,
And then it just
and then they flip it,
interesting.
and then they always pour a little bit extra in there if you're nice. But yeah, super weird. The first time I'm sitting in the airport waiting because we got there 4 hours before we go to our hotel. I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, let me get a double Jameson. They come out and they do the thing, and I'm like, they put it on there. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Is this a science experiment? What's happening? And they fill it up and they dump it out, and then they take the jigger in the bottle and they go. I'm like, this is fucking weird. But at 3 different bars, and they all did it that way.
Interesting.
So
Well, now I kind of want to find one of those.
Yeah,
right? Now I'm intrigued enough.
I'm wondering if it's even like, I wonder if it's a metric measurement. Like it's a millimeters, or not a millimeter, milliliter.
No,
instead
because
of-
ounces. Oh
Ounces
yeah,
is
ounces is
imperial.
American. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe that's a metric jigger.
The only other stranger jigger I've seen. Oof,
Yeah, don't say that too many times.
can't. Can you say stranger jigger fast 3 times and just see what happens?
I don't know that I can say
No,
it once.
nor should you.
No.
I was in Salt Lake City, and it was an attachment on the top of the bottle. And they turn it over, and it pours exactly 1 jigger. And then it has a tracker to know how many have been poured out of that bottle.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
they can't over pour, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
So they have to count for every single shot out of a bottle.
Wow.
Right? Like, that to me is ridiculous. At that point, just don't even pour.
No.
It's just don't pour. Yeah,
All
apparently they do not allow free pours.
That's one more reason I'm not going to Salt Lake City. Have fun.
I'll be there on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have TV that you've been watching?
No, I did. I watched a bit of TV.
Okay.
So I got a couple. I don't remember. Did I tell you I started Billions again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I got a couple more episodes of that. I'm through episode 6 or 7 of season 1 of 12.
Okay.
I think I'm 7. Still a really good show. If it's interesting seeing Maggie Siff as this character because I'm so used to her as Jack's girlfriend. Yeah. So like I said, I'm like 7 episodes of that. Finished season 1 of Undressed. All 30 fucking episodes.
Well, I'm sorry, 30 episodes in the first season?
That's one of the shorter seasons.
Wow.
So this was, I think I've talked about this before. It was on an MTV summer show where they did 5 episodes a night at like 11:30, like right after Loveline. So yeah, the seasons were, it was like a 2-month season,
That's
but it was
crazy.
long. On the plane, watched all of season 5 of Downton Abbey. And I got 2 episodes left in season 6, and then I'm done with the show.
I didn't know you even did.
Oh yeah,
Really?
I fell in the trap because of all the SNL parodies of it. I'm like, I got to see what this really is, and then I was like, oh, there's 8 episodes a season. It's not that bad.
Oof.
Season 2 of Preacher started. I got through the first 3 episodes. I was
Right.
very of that. Fucking awesome.
And we're going to talk
One
about that a
of
little bit later.
the worst episodes of Hot Ones I've seen in a long time.
That's
That's what
on
we're
your
talking about
press
later.
to talk
Yeah.
about
Okay.
later.
Nashville, Melissa and Joey, Pretty Little Liars.
I'm sorry, Melissa and Joey?
Yeah, I finished that show finally.
Oh, buddy.
But I had the benefit of having like a year and a half off, so it wasn't as brutal.
Okay.
It was definitely a low season, but it wasn't as brutal, I think, as if I had watched it right when it was coming out.
That's when he had the super douchey beard, like sculpted beard.
Yeah, the
and
sculpted
shaved
beard,
head.
he had the hard part, and the
Yeah. Oof.
yeah, it was bad. The flashback episode or the clips episode or whatever when he had the shaved head, much better hairstyle for him. But the series finale of Pretty Little Liars happened.
Okay.
And I swear they try to fit every soap opera trope they could in that last episode. It was a 2-hour episode. One of the characters ended up having a twin sister she never knew about that was raised in another country that decided she wants to take over her life, so she moves to the town, and
Yeah.
she's
Sure.
turns out she's the one that's been doing all this stuff, and then you think everything's wrapped up and resolved, and at the end you see that it's actually starting over with the next younger generation that we're
So,
kinda like,
wait a
"Fuck,
minute.
I'm done."
So the show wasn't resolved?
No.
Just for this generation, but now it's happening again.
They could very easily, they're not going to, but they could spin it off and do another Pretty Littler Liars or
Right.
something. Because at the end, you find out the person who was the big bad the whole time has tricked them in the end, into thinking she wasn't the one doing it, and then in the very last scene, you find out it was her, and now she's got other people that she's going after.
I do like when the villain gets away with it in the end.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
But does she,
preferable?
as an audience member, like, is it like, okay, that's a stretch, or is it like,
well, the last 4 seasons of the show were a stretch. So
Okay.
at that point,
because you have the movie Valentine starring David Boreanaz.
okay.
And he is the killer, gets away with it at the end, and gets the girl.
Oh,
But the way he actually does it, you're like, oh, makes total sense. No wonder. Yes, he planned that so well. It makes sense that they think it's this other person. Awesome.
okay. That's not how this was
Okay.
solved. No, there was like the fake mental illness and really, the person who was ultimately behind it, I don't think you ever actually figure out who it was. But her like lieutenant that was kind of the one doing everything got away. And I'm like,
So there's layers to the
yeah,
murders.
it's
Wow.
fucking weird. And then the last TV show I watched is the final 3 episodes of Powerless. The final 3 episodes.
So they're starting to release them on Hulu.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they were going up
I
there or not.
saw the one with LexCorp,
Okay, yeah.
and I haven't watched the other ones yet.
Now
They're
was
not out yet.
was
but
the one with LexCorp the Adam West one or no?
Yes.
Okay. With the wormhole and all that.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And there's 2 more after that.
So they released that one because Adam West passed away.
Sure,
so
makes
like,
sense.
well, we're gonna do it as a tribute. That was actually not the next episode that was supposed to air. There was supposed to be one between the final one that aired and that one.
Okay.
And then there was a finale episode that wasn't really a finale, but yeah, it was the last episode. What did you think of the Adam West one?
I liked it well enough.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed the show as a whole. I'm disappointed it's not coming back.
As am I. One of my favorite things about, well, 2 of my favorite things about that episode. One, if I'm remembering this right, is that the one where I can't remember the main character's name.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
called
yeah.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Where her condo gets blown up. Was that one? Okay.
Yes. And the assistant gets superpowers.
Yeah. So I liked that opening because it harkens back to the original premise of the show of them being an insurance agency that dealt with property damage from superhero fights.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So as soon as that happens, she's like, I can call my insurance company. Oh, they're saying they won't honor the claim. I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That was the original premise.
That
and
is
then
funny.
The tweet from President Lex Luthor,
That was awesome.
that was hilarious. He's like, we're going to keep the aliens out, or we're going to build a wall to keep the aliens out. The aliens are going to build the wall.
Yeah, the aliens are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny. So one of the episodes that you haven't seen yet is Lois Lane dies.
What?
And Ron Funch's character gets really excited. Ron and Danny Pudi, they both get really excited because they're like, there's a theory out there that Lois Lane's actually died like 4 or 5 times, and every time Superman just flies around the world backwards and resets time. So that means it's no consequence day because we can do whatever we want because Superman will
Fly
eventually.
around.
So yeah, it's all kinds of shenanigans, and
That is awesome.
that was probably one of my favorite episodes of the show.
Oh, that's great.
I'm watching, I'm laughing. I'm like, why the fuck did this get canceled?
It's such a good show. I'm wondering if you had to be too in the know to get some of the jokes.
Oh, I'm sure. Because, I mean, that's a direct reference to Superman 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So funny. Anyways, so yeah, that was the last of the TV I watched.
Okay. So I'll hit a couple things and the ones I know I want to talk about. We burned through 3 seasons of Fresh Off the Boat
Okay.
because we just wanted to rewatch it. So we did that this past week. We've heard me talk about it to no avail, so we can move on. Vikings.
You're not
ju-
enjoying the show,
We just started season 4.
which is the most recent season.
Is the most recent season. Super bummed with how that season starts. Don't like it at all.
No.
The fact that Rollo betrays Ragnar and has the whole settlement killed. Because I really liked Rollo. And in season end of 2, beginning of 3, we saw a huge shift in him.
Yes.
When he tells the truth to Siggy, realizes he's going to be a better... Like, we see this huge shift in Rollo. And then they're like, nah, let's go back to season 1 Rollo. We don't like this guy anymore.
So, yeah. And season 4 was split into 2 halves, so it's actually I think a 20 episode season.
Okay.
So you got a lot more to watch. But I will tell you that that does not get resolved in the first half of that season.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So essentially, all of Ragnar's friends have turned on him.
Yes.
Loki, Rollo, Bjorn didn't turn on him, but he left.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't
Oslog is the worst thing in the world.
Well, yeah.
She really is the worst out of the bunch. When I side with Siggy, when I'm forced to say Siggy is right, that was a bad day for me. It was a dark day for me.
Okay. What do you think of, you mentioned Bjorn, what do you think of Ragnar's other children? Or where are they at this point?
So Ube is probably about 7-ish.
Oh, okay.
He's still young.
Okay.
Ivar the Boneless is barely at age.
Okay. So I couldn't remember. At one point, I think it must be the
break.
second half premiere. They aged them. It jumps forward, and at that point I'll get more of a.
Sure. Obviously, we are far beyond where any mythological stories ever were.
I feel like that went out the window. Episode 2, season 1.
It did.
Yeah.
But like, Game of Thrones didn't stay true, but it kept some.
Sure.
This is just completely not even close.
Yeah. It's a good thing it's on a channel that doesn't pride itself on being historically accurate.
That's true.
Yeah.
With that said, though, like I am enjoying the show. I do like it. The guy who plays Ragnar still kind of bothers me, though. Like, there's something about him that I just don't like as an actor.
And as the show progresses, the way he portrays the character is a little bit more crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if everything he's seen has kind of disturbed him down to the bone, and he's just fucking losing it. But yeah.
I will say, the guy, Gustav, who plays Floki.
Oh, yeah.
Why is he not the Joker?
Right?
Like, I downloaded an image, and I was like, yeah, he's the fucking Joker. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
He's either the Joker or he's going to be the guy that plays the lead singer of Prodigy in their biopic. Because he's got that same hair.
He can be both.
I mean,
he
could.
Be
yeah, he
both.
could. He could.
So there's that. Watch the first episode of Battle of the Network Stars. So this was a show from the 70s and 80s with the host Howard Cosell.
Okay.
They've remade it.
Oh.
Now, the only reason I was like, all right, I'm going to give the first episode a shot is one of the hosts is Mike Greenberg. And for those of you who listen to ESPN radio every morning, he's one of the Mikes from Mike and Mike.
Okay.
What?
I just don't know in the Venn diagram of our listeners and ESPN where that crossover is.
Me. I am the only crossover.
It's probably.
I apologize. So, guys, ESPN is a TV network owned by Disney that broadcasts sports. ESPN 2, 3, Deportes also do sports. One of them is in Spanish. They also have a radio stations.
What about Ocho? Isn't that in Spanish also?
That's just from Anchorman.
Oh.
The Ocho.
Actually, was that Anchorman or was that Dodgeball?
I don't know. They're the same movie.
I mean,
anyways,
if you can dodge a wrench, you can stay classy, San Diego.
That's the catch line. Absolutely. So he talked about it on his radio show. I'm like, all right, I'll give this a shot. I appreciated that, much like Howard Cosell in the 70s, he had a mustard yellow jacket with a ABC patch on it, and they wore that. I'm like, well,
nice.
One, keeping it classy.
There you go.
So the original Battle of the Network Stars was exactly that. They actually battled. The stars that were on ABC competed against the stars that were on NBC.
Sure.
So it was an actual Battle of the Network Stars. This one, since there's so much network, there's so much going on. The first episode was TV Kids versus sitcom staples.
Okay.
So the TV Kids were the two girls from Facts of Life.
Sure.
Joey Lawrence, because he grew up as a kid on TV.
Yeah.
Blossom's little brother. One of the kids from Modern Family. And one of the kids from High School Musical.
Oh, jeez.
The TV sitcom staples was Tom Arnold.
Okay.
Balky from Perfect Strangers.
Oh, jeez.
Tracy Gold from
Growing Pains.
Thank you. From
Yeah.
Growing Pains. One of the girls from the Goldbergs. And not Uncle Jesse, Uncle Joey from Full House.
John Stamos.
No.
No, Uncle Joe. Dave Coulier.
Thank you.
Cut
So-
it out.
That's the one. So then they competed against each other, just doing ridiculous like events and whatnot.
Okay. You gonna keep watching?
I don't know. Like
Okay.
it wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. Like Dave Coulier was funny, and he was making fun of Joey Lawrence and everybody else, and that was funny because you could see that they actually knew each other.
Right.
They were actually making like personal jokes towards each
Oh,
other, which I thought
jeez.
was really funny.
Yeah.
Watching some of them not have any athletic ability was amazing.
Okay.
Like Joey Lawrence for the baton race, the 400-meter baton race, he fucking crushed it.
Okay.
But when it came to the dunk tank, watching him throw was the most embarrassing. So that part of it was kind of funny. Not enough to keep me entertained for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're doing like, I think it's like an episode, only like one episode every 2 or 3 weeks or something like
Okay.
that. So maybe
they're
I'll
not-
watch another one.
They're not oversaturating it.
No, because you just can't get these people to do that kind of stuff for that long, right? The other thing is Jane the Virgin. So
Oh, you're still watching that show.
we're watching season 3.
Okay.
And by we are watching, my wife is watching. I have officially tapped out.
Okay.
So for those of you who are not familiar, my Xbox will stream to any Windows 10 device.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll stream to any Windows 10 device. So I sit on my couch and stream the Xbox to my computer with my headphones on, playing Wolfenstein while she watches Jane the Virgin. Because I just can't do it anymore.
Sure.
In fact, after this last episode, I was like, you can watch this without me.
All right. Fair enough.
I am, it's bad. Like, and I know we're commenting on Jane the Virgin, like, now she's just wondering what it's like to have, like, a fling because she waited till she got married. So now she's trying to have a fling with this hot guy. And this and that. I'm like, nope, I can't.
So I'm guessing she's not married anymore.
No, her husband died, of course.
Oh, of course.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nope, I can't even pretend that this is a little bit interesting for me.
Yeah.
Cannot even. Everyone's having an affair with everyone. Like, it's all just garbage at
Okay.
this point.
Fair enough.
So, the last thing I want to talk about, Hot Ones.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Okay. So, we watched the Coyote Peterson episode.
I thought that was an entertaining episode.
I've actually started watching his YouTube channel
okay,
because of
I
it.
considered doing that. Yeah.
It's quite enjoyable.
All right.
So Coyote Peterson I didn't know that his YouTube channel is now sponsored by the Animal Planet and Discovery Network.
Oh, I mean that makes sense.
Essentially, he just goes around in every episode. He teaches you about different animals. Sometimes it's what the bite feels like, and he really gets bite by these animals. Sometimes it's just instructional videos. One of them was he got attacked by a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
And like how to defend yourself.
Right.
Like, and they were like, it's fun. I enjoyed them. Moving on. That's all there is to say about that. The Brett the Superfan episode.
Hard to watch, but because since I've been watching this, I'd be like, it'd be fucking awesome if I was on that show.
Sure.
So he's obviously living my dream.
Yeah, I would watch if you were on it.
But I feel like he's never interviewed anybody before in his life.
Not a great interview.
But I guess, I mean, if it's not his job, he's a music instructor or something.
Performing arts coordinator or something like that.
Well, okay, that almost invalidates my point. But anyways, it's not what he does for a living, so
No,
I can't expect him to
no.
be great. Overall, 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Not a great episode. I thought it was nice to learn more about Sean.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
That was definitely an interesting thing. And I've seen other interviews with him outside of the Hot Ones stage. So some of it was stuff I already knew, but listening to talk about, he can't. Outside of the show, he doesn't eat hot wings anymore because he can't.
Right.
It's like I eat hot wings for a living. I'm not gonna go order hot wings, but
Which is weird because every time I see that show, all I want is hot wings.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sitting there eating the hot wings. So he said he said in there sometimes they bank 3 or 4 episodes a week.
Yep.
And with that hot sauce, I can only imagine like
It's got to be hard.
oh.
Although
yeah.
we did find out the wings are not served cold, but you're there for 45 minutes to an hour. The wings just eventually
Right.
become
Yeah.
cold.
And if you watch the episodes closely enough, you can see where a lot of these edits are, where you can tell that
Oh, yeah.
things took longer than what you're seeing on the screen. So, yeah, I mean they keep them under a heat lamp until they bring them out if they take a while. But yeah, I can't make hot wings at home and make them stay hot more than 10 minutes on my plate.
Absolutely.
And when the cuts of the episodes we're seeing are 20 to 25 minutes, even if that's all it was, that would be cold by the time you got to wing 6
absolutely.
or 7. So, yeah.
I did appreciate that they called out DJ Khaled.
Oh, yeah.
For being a bitch.
Fuck that guy.
Yep. And then it was the season finale.
Yes. Real disappointing.
Why don't you go ahead and tell the folks about the season finale?
So, I was actually really excited.
Yep, for sure.
Because the guests on the season finale were Seth Rogen and
Dominic Cooper.
That's right. Seth Rogen's one of the guys that brought the show Preacher to TV. He was pushing it for a long time. Dominic Cooper's the guy that plays Preacher in the show. So I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. Seth Rogen's kind of a funny guy. He's probably going to be high off his ass and just whatever.
And he was.
He was. I feel like 80% of the questions in the conversation were directed at Seth, and very little actually went to Dominic.
So the first thing, it's funny that you say that. Watching this episode, I was like, I would rather this be a regular episode with Dominic and Seth not be here.
Yeah.
Because anytime Dominic said something, it was more interesting. Rogan was just a stone dude who was very clearly just talking dumb shit.
Right.
Trying to push Preacher, which I get. That's why you're there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Coyote, we learned about things. And even Brett Superfan, we always learn about the guests. We learned nothing about these guests aside from watch Preacher.
Well, and that Dominic Cooper at one point was roommates with James Corden, which I don't know if you know who James Corden is.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought that was some of that like Hollywood incest type stuff is interesting. Like, oh, you were roommates with so-and-so and you knew who. That kind of interesting to me. But again, probably would have been much more interesting if it was an entire episode of Dominic.
Because then we might have learned about that and what it was like rooming with. Yeah. Overall, it was a shit episode.
I was also really disappointed because we didn't see the new sauce. It was the end of the season and we still didn't see the new sauce.
No, we're going to see that at the beginning of next season.
I kind of figured they were going to like send the season out with the new sauce. Like, this is what's coming up next season. We're going to give you a preview of it right now.
So I don't know if we talked about the new sauce on air.
We might not have.
So tell the folks about The Last Dab.
So, also, we haven't seen the episode that screenshot was from.
No, because it was him and Chili Klaus.
No, it wasn't Chili Klaus.
Wasn't it?
No. It was another actor. Anyways.
Okay.
So, for those of you that have watched Hot Ones, and if you haven't, fucking get on it because it's a great show.
Mm-hmm. After you're done watching this.
Right. They start out every episode with Sriracha, which is no big deal.
No big deal.
And they end every episode for the last two seasons. Two seasons with Blair's Mega Death Sauce
with
Liquid Rage. And
correct.
It's tradition to dab the last wing. You don't have to if you don't want to. But they put a little extra dab on there just for an extra, like, one up. We're gonna go big.
Whew.
But there was a Instagram photo that was leaked online a week ago, 2 weeks ago, from one of the guests who I guess is going to be on season 3, where they're holding sauces and they're posing, and in Sean's hand, I think it is, you see a new Hot Ones sponsored sauce called The Last Dab. So the theory is, instead of doing an extra dab of Blair's on the last one, you're going to do like a dab of, or the last one will be sauced completely with the new Hot Ones Last Dab sauce. But like I said, I saw that image like 2 weeks ago, so I was kind of assuming it was going to make its way into the last episode, but we haven't seen the episode with the guy that was taken with, so that must be something they were banking for the beginning of season 3.
Which may be possible with all the Sean in the wild and they travel. They may just be banking them right now.
Yeah, which I'm still digging Sean in the Wild, but the last episode was kind of bullshit.
I haven't watched the last one yet.
It was the bodega shopping trip.
Yeah, I know which one it was.
It was real weak.
The issue I have with having this many in the can is you can't be topical. You can't be topical recording something in June or July and releasing it in October.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, most of these people, this is now part of their press tour.
Right.
They're going out to promote a TV show, a movie, an album, something. And I mean, I guess if you've got a movie in post production right now and you know it's coming out in December, maybe, but sure. I feel like a lot of them so far haven't been that far in advance. So I don't know. But overall, again, season finale of Hot Ones, weak sauce.
Disappointing. So before we get into some Jay-Z news,
okay,
I want to have some random burger news with you, my friend. Now, raise your hand if you love the Costco food court. Everyone's hands being raised because it's the fucking Costco food court.
Right.
Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, the Kirkland brand is called Kirkland because there's a city here in Washington called Kirkland, Washington, where Costco's corporate headquarters are located.
And where the first store opened.
That's why it's Kirkland.
Yeah.
So that makes us the test market for new products.
Oh, yeah, I guess I never really thought about that.
And they just announced a new test product. The food court is now introducing 100% organic, free-ranged burgers.
Why?
Why not?
Fuck, I don't need an organic free-range burger. Pump that thing through of RSBST, whatever.
I don't care that it's organic. I don't care that it's free range. I'm more intrigued that this is now a Costco burger.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
So now at the food court, they will be having burgers.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I will agree that their pizza is delicious and well-priced.
Yes.
I will agree to one of those two descriptors for their hot dogs.
Well priced.
Right.
Agreed. Yeah. For some reason, everyone seems to like them.
Because it's $1 or $1.25. That's the thing. So.
But do you like most hot dogs? Yeah. I'm that same way. I'm a very rare that I like a hot dog.
So here's my problem. Is this going to be a $2 half-assed burger that everyone's going to eat because it's $2 right outside of Costco?
So it's $3.99.
Okay. Bitch better have bacon on it then.
Half pound.
Okay.
Cheese, lettuce, tomato, special dressing. I don't believe bacon, though.
I'm hard-pressed for $3.99 then.
I'm willing to go give it a shot, though.
I'll give it a shot. I will give most things a shot when it comes to food. That's why I eat chicken hearts in Brazil.
But that's not that bad. My grandmother used to make chicken feet.
No, those are good too. Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
But, okay.
But where else are you going to find a burger for $3.99 that is halfway decent?
Soundview. And it comes with fries.
It's not $3.99. That Price is Right moment brought to you by Soundview Tavern, where we have confirmation, not $3.99.
Yeah, no, I was, I mean, maybe I get them for half price.
Maybe happy hour. They're a little bit cheaper on happy hour. Maybe. So, burger news. All
right, so we'll both try the Costco burger.
I'm going to try the Costco burger. It's only available at the Kirkland, Issaquah, and Linwood location.
Okay, so the Linwood location is not far from here. You're talking about the regular Linwood, right?
Yes.
When do they start serving this?
I think it starts today.
Okay, so maybe next Wednesday, on my way here.
Genius, Jay.
We try them.
Yes.
And then we'll give you. All right, there we go.
So I have a little news on my phone I'm going to bring up to talk about next. We're going to talk about Jay-Z's 444.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's new album, released on Tidal.
Yep.
Tidal exclusive. So to access it the album dropped Friday.
Was it Friday or was it Saturday?
It was Friday.
It was Friday. That's right. Okay.
So if you wanted to buy Tidal and listen to the album, you had to buy it Friday before midnight. Otherwise, it was exclusive to current subscribers and Sprint customers only.
Yeah.
Now that was... I'm sorry, go ahead.
So again, it drops at midnight. If you are not a current Tidal subscriber as of 11:59 p.m.
Right.
Nothing. You can subscribe at midnight. That album's not available to you.
Correct. Now
that is fucking crazy how they can do that, by the way.
So it's even crazier than that. That ban was lifted today.
Okay.
With the announcement that album has gone platinum.
Are you... Okay,
now
this is what I don't understand. Then.
I have the details of how a streaming album goes platinum.
Because that was my question. There's no purchases happening.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm just going to read the paragraph. For albums to go platinum, certifies a record has been sold 1 million times in less than a week. Okay?
Okay.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Right.
The RIAA, the people who just... decide if it goes the Recording Industry Association of America.
Yep.
Didn't even count streaming towards gold or platinum albums until last year. So the way that works is 1,500 tracks streamed equals one album sold.
Jesus.
So for him to go platinum, which is 1 million times 1,500 tracks.
150 million streams.
Yeah, in a weekend. Not even a week, in a weekend. So to celebrate, the album was then released to everybody on Tidal.
So here's my question. How many employees at Tidal were required to just open up as many windows as they can and hit stream?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, that's an easy way around that.
Well, here's my question, though. Is it 1,500 unique streams or just streams?
I don't know that there's 150 million Tidal subscribers at this point.
They claim they have 3 million.
Okay, but that's not...
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They claim they have 3 million.
Yeah.
So how do you make up those numbers?
Right. I mean, I've streamed the album, I think I said 4 times in the last 5 days. So there's 4.
I downloaded it. What do you mean there's 4?
For me.
How many times did you download it? Did you listen to it?
4.
And there's 10 albums. That only equals 40 streams.
Oh, so it's per track.
It's per track.
Oh, so it's not a full...
1,500 tracks.
Yeah. See, now that gets murky, too.
I don't disagree.
Because back in the day, 3 years ago, you could have a single go platinum, and you could have a full record go platinum.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're counting each song that I play off the album as an individual stream...
But you need 1,500 to equal one album sale.
Right.
I think that's fair.
All right, anyways...
but then you have the flip side, the people like me who downloaded the album and never listened to it streaming.
Right. And that doesn't count anywhere.
Doesn't count anywhere.
No. But yeah, so this was a really unique method of delivery for this album. For those of you that are familiar with Tidal, Jay-Z is one of the owners of it. So, of course, he released his album on it. And now Sprint owns 33% of Tidal. So that was the way around getting past that midnight barrier. Is if you were not a Tidal subscriber by midnight, but you were on Sprint's cellular service, you could still subscribe after and get access to it.
Right.
So that was a weird thing.
Now they added even more to the Sprint subscribers as it's gone platinum. Sprint subscribers can download the album for free.
Oh, interesting.
In FLAC or MP3.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
one time only. You log into your Sprint account and you can download the album.
So you logged into your Sprint account?
So, funny story. I am livid with Sprint right now. Livid, people. Because I had a Sprint phone before I switched to Google Fi.
Right.
I had to call Sprint 4 times to get the return kit to send back my leased phones.
Oh.
In that time, they charged me $350 for these phones.
Bullshit.
Well, now I finally sent them back. I called them fuming today saying, where the fuck is my money back? You guys have had the phones now for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get a check in 15 days.
Well, it's been 15 days.
No, they mean 15 days from the day
Bullshit.
that I was talking to them. Livid. But until that time, until I receive my closed out check, I'm technically still a Sprint customer. So on my Sprint account, it came up. I'm all like, yup.
Nice.
Fuck you, Sprint. I'm taking it in FLAC.
Oh, and for those of you that are listening from the Middle East and Africa and wherever the fuck you are, Sprint is a mobile carrier here. Number 4 out of 4.
No.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
They surpassed T-Mobile, dude.
When?
Recently.
Okay, because I looked like 2 weeks ago and T-Mobile was still at number 3.
No, I'm pretty sure they're
okay,
up
well,
there.
Still. Number 3. Whatever.
Still.
So, it's like, I don't even know, whatever your shitty telecom is in Slovakia. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, very different delivery method. For what's probably going to be one of the biggest albums of the year, Jay-Z's 13th studio album. We both think it'll be available other places very soon.
They're saying Billboard's announcing that it's going to be available to purchase within the week.
Yeah. So
now, it dawned on me with my other Jay-Z news, why he doesn't care that it's just streaming on Tidal.
Because he's a businessman.
And do you know how much money Jay-Z made? Not because of 444, but thanks to Rock Nation Sports.
What the fuck is Rock Nation Sports?
A year and a half ago, Jay-Z created his own sports agency, Rock Nation Sports.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's got Robinson Cano.
Yeah.
He's got Kevin Durant.
Oh, shit.
Now, Kevin Durant just re-signed with the Warriors.
Yo.
Now, let's put this in perspective, okay? First off, Jay-Z had to sell his share of the Brooklyn Nets because otherwise he's...
Right, yeah.
So, Steph Curry just got a 5-year deal, $214 million with the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Highest ever. Broke the NBA record for the highest contract ever.
Yep.
Kevin Durant took about $12 million less than his salary cap. Not Steph Curry's salary cap. They offered Kevin Durant 44. He took 35.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to go, because if the owner has to give away too much money, the owners go into what's called a luxury tax.
Right.
And the NBA taxes them out the ass.
Yeah.
That tax money then takes away from what other people can make, like Iguodala and Sean Livingston. So Kevin Durant said, no, pay me less. I'm a team player.
Yeah.
Now, I would assume Jay-Z for this deal would be livid. Livid.
What does he got to be livid about? He's still making millions
He's
of
the
dollars.
agent. He gets 10%.
Yeah.
And then, did you see those huge white shoes when you came in?
Yeah.
Those are my KDs.
Oh, jeez.
Okay? Those are the new KDX. Those shoes were only available for the first game of the playoff.
You had to order them during the game.
During the game, while KD was on the court. Only way you could get them. They just released a new pair of KDs. Okay? The reason I'm bringing this up is Jay-Z also brokered, well, probably not Jay-Z specifically, but Rock Nation Sports, Jay-Z's company, brokered his Nike deal.
Oh, jeez.
Kevin Durant's $300 million Nike deal. $300 million!
Fucking for shoes. Come on.
$300 million!
Yeah, Jay-Z's just going to start giving away albums at this point. He's like, I don't even care.
Right?
I need to do this so I have capital losses on my statement at the end of the year.
So he only has 9 clients in 3 different sports. Okay?
Okay.
So Kevin Durant, 10-year endorsement contract with Nike worth $300 million.
Maybe I should become a sports agent.
Yeah, right.
Show me the money.
Which is crazy because if you think about it, that's more than LeBron's Nike deal.
Oh, shit, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So for Jay-Z, I think 444 was just like, oh, I made $2 million on that? That's cool. That's cool. I just made 30 with KD over here.
Right.
On shoes.
Yeah. Jeez.
Congratulations, Hova.
He could go buy that building in Dumbo now. Yeah, right? Yeah. Which I fucking looked that up. It's 4 city blocks.
Yeah, why not?
That's all of Dumbo.
Yeah.
But why do you have a neighborhood named for 4 city blocks?
So
I mean, I get 2,000 people live there, but
So him and Beyonce are currently renting a place in Malibu
okay.
because they're not sure where they want to buy their next home at.
Oh, jeez.
They just know that the next home needs to be $75 million or less is their looking rate.
That's fiscally responsible.
Fiscally responsible. So the place they're renting in Malibu right now, I believe, don't quote me on this, it's from Mike and Mike, so if I remember correctly, was $65,000 a month. Wow, that's just their popover while they're looking for their new place.
It's fucking ridiculous.
And my wife thinks our townhouse isn't big enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. Did you watch any movies?
I did not watch any movies.
Wow.
I know. I was watching all the TV shows,
that's
and
fair.
then
I watched 5 movies.
What? Okay. Well, you made up for my none movies.
I'm going to talk about some. I'm going to breeze over others. So
Okay.
the first ones I'm going to breeze over real fast is Star Trek Beyond.
Okay.
Sucked.
Sure.
Didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was... So Did you watch the other Star Trek movies?
I watched the first Abrams one.
Okay, so the second Abrams one was about Khan,
Okay.
who was a former Federation guy who got lost somewhere in space. People thought he was dead, came back, had an elaborate plot to destroy the Federation. The Enterprise was destroyed. James Kirk defeated him in the end, but he lived off to fight another day.
Okay.
Guess what the plot of this one was?
Was it Khan coming back?
No, it was somebody else. But otherwise, 100% of everything else, exactly the same.
Okay.
Movies-
So kind of like the Star Wars Force Awakens, it was the same movie, just insert different character names.
Insert one different character name.
Yeah, okay.
Because the crew of the Enterprise remained the same. Instead of Khan, it was Homeboy.
Okay.
None of it made sense. The plot holes were just, they weren't even massive. They were beyond massive.
Okay.
Like, it was bad. The other one I'm going to touch on briefly is Dream House. Old movie, Daniel Craig, Rochelle Weisz, Naomi Watts.
Okay.
It's a thriller. I remember enjoying this movie in theaters. I enjoyed it on my second watch because it was a scary movie my wife could watch.
Okay, sure.
Essentially, you have Daniel Craig, who's married to Raquel Weisz. They have two beautiful children. They just moved into this new home. His kids are getting sick. He doesn't know what's going on. He knows that somebody the previous owner murdered his wife and two children.
Okay.
So now he thinks that's got something to do with it. Long story short, he actually is the former owner.
Oh.
He's been in a mental institute for 5 years. He created this whole alter ego in his mind because he couldn't come to terms with the fact. So then you start seeing what's really there. His wife and two kids aren't really there. It's all in his mind. The house is decrepit. It's decayed. Even he himself looks different. And it just kind of stumbles from there.
Okay.
It's a fine enough movie.
Sure.
The ones I'm going to talk a little bit about is the first one's Life.
Okay.
Starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
It was good. I actually quite enjoyed it. The ending was somewhat predictable. But, like, it looked beautiful. They did a really good job. Gyllenhaal crushed it in this movie. I feel like did a really good job. Do you know the premise of this movie?
No.
So we are in space. We go to Mars, and we find this couple cell amoeba.
Okay.
And the scientists find a way to bring it back to life, how to stimulate it. But instead of like our cells where it's like specifically designed tasks, it's all connected cellular. So it's like a thing of stem cells. So it can constantly reproduce and change to what its environment needs.
Okay.
As it gets more energy, it continues to grow and grow and grow. And it needs to consume more and more energy. And the best source of energy is starting to kill the people aboard the ship.
Sure.
'Cause it's already drained the fuel and it's already done this. So it's starting to hunt these people down.
Okay.
Kill them. Overall, it was a fine enough movie. I
Yeah.
liked it well
Yeah.
enough. Moving on. I watched Chips.
Oh. Now you're of an age that you probably watched the original Chips
I did
TV
watch
show.
the original Chips. Yes.
Okay. With Punch and John, and those are the only two characters.
And that's what they named these guys too.
Of course they did. To this day, I randomly get the Chips theme song stuck in my head.
Fair.
Yeah.
I have a blue and gold California Highway Patrol coffee mug.
Oh, well, nice. There you go. So, that being said, nostalgia aside, how was this movie?
I rented this movie on Vudu
Oh.
with a complete intent of just it being a bad movie.
But it wasn't?
It was actually much better than I thought it would be.
Oh, plot twist.
I laughed, like legitimately laughed.
Okay.
And when it was over, I was like, all right, there's a couple dumb scenes, but I'm glad I watched it. I thought it was funny. I don't think I would watch it again.
So I was actually, yesterday I was going through movies that had come out, and I came across this one. I was on the verge of putting it on my watch list or not.
Yeah.
And I opted not to because I kind of assumed it would be bad. But what you're telling me is one watch through is
Yeah,
okay.
one watch through is good.
Okay.
So here's the thing. You're going to get a lot of dick jokes. You're
Well,
going to get a lot of masturbation jokes. Throw those aside. All the other jokes involved with it were pretty fucking funny.
Okay. Okay.
And the guys do a good enough job. It's not revolutionary. you see the plot coming a mile away. There's no
yeah.
plot twist. There's no surprises. There's more TNA in it than you need in any other movie. There's more explosions than you need in any other movie. But it was funny.
Okay.
Like, I liked it well enough where I was like, oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
It was funnier than the other movie I watched, Why Him? Starring Bryan Cranston and James Franco.
That's too bad, 'cause that one I did add to my list.
Yeah. Still worth a watch.
Okay.
Like, Star Trek Beyond, not worth a watch.
Sure.
Why Him? It was fine. It was fine.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about it.
Sure,
Watch it
yeah.
once and go, all right, there's a couple funny parts in it. James Franco got real annoying. If it wasn't for Bryan Cranston, this movie would have been unbearable.
Okay.
Megan Mullally does a great job. Bryan Cranston does a great job. James Franco is just annoying.
Sure. I feel like that's kind of him in almost everything he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. James Franco just plays
James
that
Franco.
one.
Yeah, that's it. Even in Spring Breakers, when he was the white drug dealer, he was still James Franco with
Still
a grill.
Yep.
That was it.
So James Franco.
Okay.
So I don't have comic books this
Yeah,
week.
I totally didn't even think about this because they're delayed because of the holiday.
The fourth holiday.
Yeah.
I do have my list.
Okay.
So my list for tomorrow
Okay.
is Batman 26, Beauty 16, Daredevil 23, James Bond number 5, Nightwing 24, Superman 26, Empress trade paperback volume 1,
Okay.
Inhumans vs. X-Men trade paperback, and Wayward Deluxe hardcover book 2.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. So I got my books today.
Okay.
I was able to purchase them digitally.
You were?
Yeah. I got Nightwing 24, Green Lanterns 26,
Oof.
Green Arrow 26, Batman 26, X-Men Gold number 7, Wicked and Divine 29, Beauty 16, Jupiter's Legacy 2 number 5.
Okay. Now, what are you going to talk about?
I'm actually talking about Green Lanterns number 26.
Fantastic. Can I ask you a question about Green Arrow?
Sure.
Now, I know you've always enjoyed Green Arrow because it's Seattle.
Yeah.
Now he's leaving Seattle.
Well, he is. But like this issue, he's just in the Cascade Mountains.
Sure.
So it's not like he goes far. Also, it's not Seattle anymore. It has now been taken over. It is the first corporately sponsored city in America, and it's been renamed Star City. Yeah, I know.
That's it for me this week. That's it for Jay this week. I need to go find. Is it Benjamin Piercy who writes this? Does that sound familiar?
Sure.
I'm coming, Ben.
Yeah.
Fucking watch out.
No,
son.
I mean, it wasn't bad. He actually meets up with Flash, and they do a team up.
Okay.
And they have the Underground Men, which has been a villain in another book that I can't remember now.
Fantastic Four, led by the Mole Man.
It's been in a recent DC book. Might have been a Batman book. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Tell me about Green Lanterns.
Okay, so you sent me a quote.
Oh my God.
What was that quote? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's
Paraphrase.
on my phone.
Okay.
Essentially, it was by Comic Book Inc. Or no, Bleeding Cool,
Bleeding Cool.
stating that Green Lanterns is probably the best DC book right now.
Yeah, something like always entertaining, something.
Yeah, it was after the Chris Bryant. Bleeding Cool says Green Lantern is endlessly enjoyable. And I said they are forever discredited.
Okay. If they were talking to me about just this one issue, I would agree. This is the best issue of Green Lanterns in the last 26 issues.
Is Sam Humphries writing it?
I think he still wrote it.
Okay.
But I'll tell you why it was the best issue in the last 26 issues. There was no sign of Simon Boz or Jessica Cruz in the entire fucking issue.
Oh, it sounds like a great issue.
So it was the history of Volthoom and how Volthoom and
The First Lantern.
went about, and Raimi went about developing the original Power Ring and all the problems they have and how it actually ended up driving Volthoom crazy. And his whole thing was, I want to get the Power Ring so that I can go back and save my planet because it gets destroyed and whatever. And he gets so crazy that it turns out it was him that went back in time to save his planet and actually is the one that blew it up. Good encapsulated story.
I like that.
There was funny parts. There was whatever. And I was like, if this was what this book was like all the time, I'd be fine with it. But I'm tired of hearing about Jessica Cruz not being able to come out of her apartment and conjure a fucking whatever.
I still don't get why she's a Green Lantern. If being a Green Lantern is all about will and overcoming fear, but she can't step out of her apartment, guess what she cannot do? Overcome fear and has no willpower. She shouldn't be a lantern.
No. Because you need... So this whole story is about her getting to the point where she can make constructs.
But the ring just in itself should not have chosen her.
Right, because the ring shouldn't choose you before you can overcome great will. It should choose you because you have overcome great fear.
Of course.
Like, it's not a fucking Green Lantern Corps developmental league.
Oh.
That would be a great book.
Yeah. Yeah, it really would.
That should be what Green Lanterns is about.
You saying that, I'm like, I'd read that.
Yeah.
The minor league Green Lanterns.
Right? It's all about when there's just the white circle still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'd read that.
Copyright Pop and Culture Podcast 2017.
Note to self, call Jeff Johns.
So yeah, that was actually a surprisingly good book this week. X-Men Gold pisses me off because it's tying into Secret Empire now.
Of course. Everything has to.
Yeah.
Because we have now finally received the official solicitation for Marvel Legacy #1.
Right.
It
I
went out in
didn't bother reading it, but
well, the solicitation came out in this month's previews.
Yeah.
So
so
we know it's we know it's coming back.
yeah.
Bruce Banner as the Hulk.
Oh, yep.
Traditional Steve Rogers as Captain America. Tony Stark as Iron Man. Thor as Thor.
Right. Yeah. So, the only other thing I want to mention about a book that I read this week, I read Jupiter's Legacy 2, #5.
When did #4 come out?
It's like 8 months ago.
Okay.
So I didn't even think this book was coming. I just saw it
sure.
show up today. So they finish out the story they're going on, and then they give a teaser page for the sequel to Jupiter's Legacy 2, which is Jupiter's something else. 2019.
Sure.
I'm like, fuck you. That book's never going to come out, #1. 2, what is happening between now and 2019? You can't make it come out.
Now, this is Mark Millar, right?
Yeah.
So he has the new the Kingsman movie, which he helped write and produces. Empress, that trade paperback I just have, they're doing another volume of Empress.
Sure.
And Frank Quietly can't draw to save his life. So he needs to get him some classes.
I disagree with you on that. I like Frank Quietly's artwork. But my thing is, if you got a book that you know you're not going to be able to publish till 2019, why even fucking advertise at this point? Because, if he's saying 2019, it's like 2022.
Sure.
So just fucking keep quiet until you've got the thing written and you're ready to publish it. And the whole thing, not the first 4 issues, then be like, oh, fuck, how do I wrap this up?
He's got us talking about it.
God damn, he does.
Aha!
Hate that.
Got you good, Mark Millar.
So that's all I got.
Okay, I'm going to talk about a one-shot I read last week.
Okay.
And I pray to Odin that you also read this issue.
If it's what I think it is, it wasn't a one-shot.
It is a one-shot. Batman Elmer Fudd.
Oh, no, I didn't read that.
Oh, my God, Jay. Probably the best thing Tom King has ever written for DC.
Okay.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm not reading any of these DC Warner Brothers.
They're
crossovers.
horrible.
Yeah. So why would I fucking take it?
Because this one's so good.
Do you know how much money I'm spending a month on Batman right now?
I
know.
know.
I know. Do I need to spend money on Elmer Fudd? I would have been much more willing to do the Martian Manhunter,
That was really
Marvin
fun.
one.
Because Marvin the Martian wanted to destroy the world. So first off, Jean-Jacques, the Martian Manhunter, got really excited there was another Martian alive.
Right, of course.
And he goes to meet him, and he's excited to talking. And they're talking about two different things, not quite understanding that they're talking about two different things, until finally Marvin tells him how he wants to destroy the world and kill all the humans.
I might have to go back.
So then Jean-Jacques is like, the fuck?
Yeah.
So then it's all just how Marvin is trying to destroy the humans and getting like the ridiculous Acme bombs, and Jean-Jacques is trying to stop him and how he defeats him in the end. Like, it was funny. It dragged on a little bit, though.
Well, sure.
It was longer than it should have been.
So tell me about Batman and Elmer Fudd.
Oh my God, it was so good. So it's told as a super old school detective noir PI.
Okay.
So Elmer Fudd is the PI.
Okay.
But they don't look like animated. Like Bugs Bunny was an actual bunny.
Okay.
He was a human, but he looked sickly and he had big teeth. And
Okay.
like
Sure.
Yosemite Sam was this big biker guy, and
Yeah.
so they were all in it. Except it was all written from Elmer's perspective, so it had his accent on everything.
Oh, jeez.
So it took a while to understand what he was saying. But once you got it, you got it.
Okay.
So he goes to a bar to find Bugs
Okay.
because his beloved Cloud, which is his girlfriend, was found dead in a pool of blood, and there's a half-eaten carrot next to it.
Ah.
So he goes to find Bugs, and he's just beating the shit out of Bugs, getting a confession out of him. The Bugs says it wasn't me, it was Bruce Wayne.
What?
So then Elmer goes to Bruce's house in the middle of this gala, pulls out a shotgun, shoots Bruce, and like pieces out. Well, then the Batman shows up, defeats him while he's at the bar, has to fight Yosemite, and it becomes this huge brawl. You then find out that it's Silver St. Cloud was the
Okay.
girl Elmer Fudd was sleeping with.
Oh, jeez. Cloud, yeah.
And
All
she
right.
wasn't really dead. Like, it was all this, like, crazy old school P.I. noir, like, twists,
Sure.
turns, writing. It was awesome. Like, I loved every minute of
All
it.
right, that sounds entertaining.
It really
Although,
was.
I will say DC missed the boat on who they should have had team up with Batman. Should have been Daffy Duck, because then you'd have the Darkwing,
Sure.
not Darkwing Duck. What was his?
Well, you could have done Duck Dodgers. You could
Yeah,
have done.
okay, yeah.
You could have done. He had a couple different ones.
But he had
Scarlet
the one where
Pumpernickel.
He
Yeah.
had the one where he was Batman. Yeah. So
But like all the other ones were kind of dumb.
sure.
The Marvel the Martian one was fine. The Legion of Superheroes and Bugs Bunny was just a fucking train wreck. Steve Orlando, stop writing.
Oh no.
But like Tom King killed it in this. Like it was dark, it was gritty, it was funny, it was a callback to all those old things. Like I really, really liked it.
Okay. Maybe I'll pick that one up.
Which leads me to the last thing of Batman news I'm going to say, and then I'm all out of shit to talk about.
Okay, I have one thing to talk about after that.
Okay.
but-
So it's been announced that we know the new Batman movie is a noir detective film.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Okay.
Yep. So the new Batman movie is a noir detective film.
Okay.
And they're all singing praise how it's finally going to be a detective story for Batman and yada, yada, yada. However, apparently the director wants Ben Affleck to portray a Batman similar to Christopher Nolan's.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't feel like that works on a noir level.
Yup.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
What's your last thing here?
So there's another a book that came out last week that we didn't talk about. Did we record last week?
No, you were in Brazil.
That's right. Okay, that makes okay. So I bought this while I was in Brazil. That's right. Okay. Clue. Did you read Clue?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, I did.
Fucking amazing.
So good.
The
butler
so I
breaking the
thought I
fourth
saw you
wall.
have Clue written down in there, but I guess it was something. It might have been Life or something like that. And I just
Yeah, maybe.
yeah. Fucking love that book.
It was very
And I
good.
was, I talked about this when we first saw the preview 6 months ago, or the ad, and then one of them loved this book. Did you read it in print?
Yes.
Okay. So did you catch the very last page where they gave you additional clues?
Yes.
Do you know that there's 3 different versions of that page?
No.
So they printed 3 different versions of the book, and each version has different set of clues in there.
So for the digital, did you get all 3?
No. I was thinking I would, because most time when I get digital, like if there's multiple covers,
Yeah, you get the different
I get the
covers.
different covers. But no, I just got 1,
Interesting.
which was weird to me because I'm like, how do they do? If
I wonder-
it's digital, everybody's buying the same file.
So I wonder if you just get that one cover.
That's what I'm wondering. But, great book because I'm a big fan of Clue the game and the movie starring Tim Curry
Sure.
and everybody and their mother. It was interesting that there was additional characters in this that aren't normally part of.
So that got me wondering. A lot of games have changed since we had played the original version.
So do you think if I went and bought a current version of Clue, there'd be different?
Maybe. I mean, Monopoly doesn't even have the iron anymore.
Well, that's because it's sexist.
Is it? I
I-
iron.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So why is that sexist?
'Cause it was a
My dry cleaner is a dude. He
Well, yeah.
irons my shirts. Where's the sexism in
does
this?
does he?
He does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And his employee is a Mexican dude, and I know he irons my
does
shirts.
he make tamales too?
I don't know.
Oh, I've been craving real good tamales lately, and I haven't had them.
off air, I'll tell you. I have a disappointing Smalley story.
Okay. Anyway, so Clue number 1 came out last week. Fucking amazing. It is a murder mystery, and it's just like they make all kinds of references, like hilarious references to the
great.
game.
It was great.
This is where I store my rope and my lead pipe and my wrench, and yeah, just fucking hilarious.
And the butler breaks the fourth wall.
Oh yeah, so right out of the bat, the butler's breaking the fourth wall, so that's good. And then they even get into where somebody gets shot, and he's surprised, like, I didn't think it was going to happen this early. What's going on? Yep. So it makes me wonder if the narration further on is going to be about it not happening the way it was supposed to. Now he's confused, or maybe he gets killed or something. I'm looking forward to the next issue.
Me too.
This was really well done. Probably the best that you could actually convert that mythos into comic books.
Well, sure, until we read Life, the comic, and then it's all hands on deck.
Shoots and Ladders, the comic?
I don't. How can you make that PG, though, man? That's
true.
Yeah. Like, I know. Yeah.
So you're saying that's going to be a Zenoscope comic? The shoots are just going to be huge breasted. Yeah, anyways.
Sounds about right.
All right, that's all I got, man.
That's it for me this week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.